What was your first ship?
Cape York.
What was she?
Commonwealth Lighthouse Service.
Oh yeah, one of them. Yeah. How many were in the crew on that? Roughly.
About 38, 40.
Oh yeah, right. And when did you first go to sea, Bob?
April 54.
Oh, how old were you then?
16 and 4 or 5 months. I think.
Oh yeah.
No, 16 and 8 months.
And what was your first ship?
River Murray.
And what was she?
Joined her in Geelong. She just discharged coal
Oh yeah.
and was heading up to Kembla, light ship, where we anchored for 10 days. Then up to Newcastle, anchored for another 8 or 9 days, and then they sent her up to Brisbane to lay up. So I was only there about 26 days, I think.
Oh yeah. How many in the crew on her?
From memory. I think it was 33, without apprentices.
Yeah. 33 or more on that class.
It was about, was it 7 engineers, I think. Was it 5? I just can't remember now. I'm pretty sure. It might have been 35.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, that was one of them. Can you name the other 12?
Riverboats.
Yeah.
River Burnett, River Clarence, River Darling. No.
No.
No. River
I've got me book.
Lachlan.
Yeah.
Lachlan,
No,
right?
Loddon. Not Lachlan, Loddon.
That's right, yeah, Loddon.
Mitta, Murrumbidgee, Norman.
Yeah, Murrumbidgee, Norman.
Mitta.
Mitta.
Yeah. Hunter.
And, yeah.
Help him out, Alby.
Yeah. Yeah, we could be here all day going through that.
Yeah.
So what made you choose a seagoing career? What made you, Alby? Get away from your young brother.
No, not that much. The money was there and it was plenty of fun.
Yeah. Bob?
I was always trying to get away from one reason or the other.
Yeah.
Tried to join the circus, and some say that was my place. Tried to join the army as an apprentice and never had the schooling or anything. Oh yeah, tried to be a jackaroo too at one stage. I had an overbearing mother.
Yeah. We know all about them.
And I decided I was going to escape one way or the other.
Yeah.
I went aboard several iron boats, especially up around the gasworks, and everybody seemed to be having a pretty good time, and I thought, that's for me.
That'll do me, yeah. And when you got away, what were the conditions like? Your wages, your hours of work, how much you've got in port, load and discharge? Well, you've already give a bit of how long you're in port and that for on your first ship.
Yeah, on the River Murray, I'd done most of the deck boys' time on the coal can. She was a little Patrick ship, carried 12 passengers, Melbourne and Brisbane, Townsville, Darwin, on the first trip I did, and then back to straight Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and return the same way. Patrick's well renowned not to pay much overtime, and so where possible they tie up after 7 in the morning and leave during normal working hours, and all that sort of jazz to try and.
Yeah.
But they had a fairly regular crew because they were good home port jobs, whether you lived in Sydney, Brisbane or Melbourne.
course, in them days there, your wages were mainly made up of the overtime. That was the backbone, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right. But there was companies like Burke's. They didn't pay much in overtime. They tried to avoid it like Patrick's, and most of the smaller companies did. Adelaide Company was renowned for it.
BHP.
Yeah, and well, BHP and Adelaide Company, right up until the middle 60s, they begrudged you getting 2 eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
There was always 1 egg for breakfast in Adelaide Company, and things like a few tin tomatoes on your steak, mushrooms on your steak now and again. And I think the phosphate chips were the first to make that a regular part of your diet.
Yeah.
And give you things like asparagus and all the goodies.
And what about the Commonwealth, the lighthouse ship? Alby, what was it like there for the wages and that?
Oh, plenty overtime and that there. But most of the time when you're doing 3 trips. You're doing a Victoria trip, Tasmanian trip and a South Australian trip. And most of the time you'd only pull in for a few stores or something. But when we get back to Melbourne, we might do 4 or 5 weeks break between then and the next trip, wherever. But
and as what was the time in port there like then? If you just in and out if you were doing the buoys and that?
Yeah, like you know, in South Australia, Lincoln, wherever we drop in for a bit of fresh water or something.
Yeah. And your duties, how did they change as you went deck boy, bucko, AB and that? How did your duties and that change?
Never paid that much attention.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that stands out, and that was well established for a long time, is deck boys weren't supposed to go aloft or drive a winch, but there was many occasions on B boats and things like that. If you wanted to break into 2 gangs, you had to have the deck boy either on a guy or something like that when you were squaring up. Otherwise you couldn't break into 2 gangs.
Yeah.
And if there was a cyclone coming up or something like that, well, you had no choice. You had to break into 2 gangs unless you had a couple of apprentices there. Then that made it a bit easier.
Yeah. The tucker, what was it like?
It's all right. Nothing I'd write home about, but it was all right.
It got you there.
Yeah, once again on some ships better than others. I know on the Duntroon once, the shipping companies wondered why they couldn't keep passengers and get repeat trade. Entertainment night, dance night, with some cracked old 78 records. And as the ship rolled, they went on even on gimbals. As the ship rolled, the needle would skate across the record. People trying to trip the late fantastic. Just the traditional things that didn't cost anything. They wouldn't give a couple of local musos a free trip in exchange for entertainment. They were pretty mean, and consequently that's one of the reasons why the coastal passenger trade died in the arse in the late 50s and early 60s.
Yeah. I remember the job I was on with you, where we went from here to Sydney, I think, wasn't it, with the food and bloody 24 loaves of bread in the 24 hours because the cook was that lousy. And we knocked the carton of Big Ben pies off out the freezer hatch, remember that? And he even fucked them up. He burnt the pies. Oh, geez, he was terrible. Yeah.
Wishbone, wasn't it?
Oh, I forget who he was. He was a shocking bloody cook, that bastard. And in them days, what did the employer provide you in the way of safety gear, linen, tools, weather gear, anything like that? I know BHP used to give you the prison gear, but...
No, I think it was about 56 before we got oilskins and stuff supplied to us.
Even a lot of companies begrudged your working gloves well into the 60s.
Yeah.
Adelaide Company once again.
Yeah. The different type of ships you've been on, what was your life like on board them? So between the Perrys, you must have been on a hell of a lot of different types of ships.
Say in both cases, just about everything between fishing boats and super tankers. And just about anything else that floats.
Yeah.
Whether it be dredges, tugs, offshore oiling boats, and general cargo. One minute you'd be on a ship that had 16 derricks and a couple of jumbos, and next thing you'd be on a bulk carrier or an offshore oil vessel, which is all completely different work. Or in some cases, I was never on one, but some blokes were on research ships.
Yeah.
Which would have been pretty interesting sort of life, but I never ever done it.
And in the days before TV and that, how'd you amuse yourselves?
Apart from the obvious.
And don't say wine and you watch a lot either, eh, Shay? That's a bucko's excuse, that one, mate.
Yeah, and you got 10 points for 10 points for effort on that one.
I know some blokes have talked about on the passenger ships they had boxing matches and everything like that.
Oh yeah. And well, a lot of that on even the riverboats, and they'd get up on number 3 hatch, and some of the older blokes that were ex-pugs, there was a lot of them on the coast in the 50s and 60s. They'd teach the young blokes how to handle themselves in a tricky situation, and if you were willing to learn off them old buggers, and if you got too smart showing your knowledge off, they'd soon sit you on your ass and
remind you where you came from. Yeah. What about you, Alby? The same sort of stuff on the ships that you're on?
More or less, yeah.
Between the Perrys, you would have come across some characters over the years. Is there anyone that steps to mind? And one of them was bloke we were just talking about a while ago.
Yeah, we...
Seagull.
Where you go?
Harold Hardy.
Yeah,
Seagull.
I didn't know him.
Yeah, I was deck boy on the Karoon with him. He was ordinary seaman.
You deck boy on the Karoon too? Or was there an old Karoon?
No, it was 12 months old. She done her first lay
Oh, yeah.
at number 5 North when I joined her. That was back in 53, April 53.
Yeah. One of the only 2 bloody single berth cabins. The other ones was the bosun's.
Yeah.
I was deck boy on it too. It was my last deck boy's job. Yeah.
What, when she was a collier?
The Karoon?
Yeah,
No.
Hobart.
No, before she got sold to Millers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a good Melbourne Hobart job, didn't
Yeah. Yeah, I joined her in Kembla, I think. Yeah.
He was there, Killingham was there a long time, wasn't he?
And what's his name? Tassie Bull was delegate there when I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Steele was there a long time too.
Champagne Charlie Davis.
Yeah.
So you'd have to come across a couple of characters too, wouldn't
Heaps of them. Yeah, you'd need a secretary doing longhand for weeks. The best way to find out about them is like the old timers.
Yeah.
Christmas party.
Oh, yeah.
Folks say, what about this bloke? And
Well, you just mentioned yours, Jimmy McCann and
well, yeah. One particular B-boat I was on, somebody gave me some jelly night for fishing purposes. And after we done a bit of fishing with it, didn't take long for McCann and the barking dog, otherwise known as Keith Beatty was his right name, but more commonly known as the barking dog. He owed McCann a bit of money gambling, and McCann got drunk, I think in Newcastle, and he's got his working gear covered in iron ore gear on top of his bunk, and was in a bit of a mess. And the barking dog took some of this jelly night, about half a plug, enough to blow the side out of the ship, and snuck into McCann's cabin, poked it in his back pocket, along with a detonator, and McCann felt something moving in his back pocket. Immediately put his hand out and found 2 wires leading in there. And he followed the wires and he stepped outside the door. Here's the barking dog out in the alleyway. Said, "I'll fix this big fat bastard." And he's trying to work out where to put the wires. McCann snatched it and chucked it out and followed. That was just one of the funny...
Yeah. There was a young girl who lives down my area, and she introduced me to her grandfather, and his best mate was Yogi, and he still sees Yogi's mum and dad all the time.
Oh yeah.
But geez, I tell you what, I would have loved to have been a fly on the bulkhead that day in his cabin when the priest went in. Where Yogi had just got the bullet off the Baralga, and the priest has come, Sin Bosun's come down on board, blah blah blah. So we know just the bloke who needs your expert guidance, Father. We took him around, threw him in Yogi's cabin, and then slammed the door shut and bloody lashed it shut. So we could. Apparently, he's dived through the porthole, getting out. I don't think we ever seen that Sin Bosun back on the Baralga. I'd like to know what Yogi done. But the poor bastard, that was his bloody. He went into the Dutch dredgers then, didn't he? And then once his suspension was over, he joined the Noongar and sank on the Noongar. Went down the Noongar.
Yeah, he was.
Kenny McIntyre.
Kenny McIntyre.
Yeah, he got the George Medal posthumously because he rescued one cook, and went back and rescued the other one, and after he rescued the second one, he ended up going to Davy Jones' locker himself. Yeah,
seen swimming away to rescue another one, wasn't
he? Yeah. And I've heard a bit of speculation about that, but we don't mention speculation.
No, that's right. Tell us about, between you, with the highs and lows you've experienced over the years at sea. Good times, bad times?
Well, just deal with them as they come.
Some of the best highs, I believe, is when we overturned Judge Foster's decisions, but it took a few years of struggle, and it sorted out some of the good unions from some of the not so good, because quite a few of them jumped out, and because they didn't want to get logged every weekend over the penal clauses, etc. Quite a few of them joined other unions, and then soon as the issue was won, they couldn't get back to sea quick enough. There's a few of them still around now.
Yeah. You seen the heads that the old timers do the other day.
Yes.
There's quite a few of them there.
That have just come back into the industry too?
Some.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There was one in particular was there last week. Every time I saw him, "Where's Roger? Where's Roger?" But I don't know what he was haunting Roger for, but I'd suggest there was something along those lines.
And no
the same bloke, no names, no petrol on this one, but years ago he had a very attractive girlfriend, and she was very popular with the boys. and he found out that there was one particular day he came in the hoses chain locker, which was a watering hole we used to go to after the pickup, and he pushed his way into the bar, reached inside his camel hair coat and dropped a wedding licence, a marriage licence, on the bar. He said, "This will stop you." And a pretty infamous character called Pissy Chris said, "Oh, that'll make it even better."
Pissy Chrissy. Yeah.
The same lady passed on a few social diseases.
Pissy Chrissy reminds me about him. Crook as a dog on the after deck of the Bralga, and I hear this Pissy Chrissy yell out, "Hey, Buck, look at this," because I was only the bucko there, and I've turned around. I was trying to eat an egg sandwich. I've turned around, he's bent over, and he dropped his dacks and pulled the cheeks of his arse, and the piles were hanging down about it. Well, I couldn't stop spewing. Pissy Chrissy. Yeah.
This is family fucking viewing. This.
Well, they've got to know that some of our seagoing family were like.
A similar thing happened on the Melbourne tugs. Mickey Burns was crook as a dog and dry reaching, and Tassie Banner was on the Buccaneer at the time. Don't say which Buccaneer.
Yeah. Right or left.
That Buccaneer. And he pulled his false teeth out and leaned out of the side, and he's hawking and coughing because Tassie doesn't either drink or smoke now, and he hasn't for 30 odd years, but at that time he was. And Tassie starts hawking and coughing, and Burns is up in the wharf. He said, "Oh, bugger you, Tassie, you'll make me spew." I said, "Hey, never mind about what he's spewing." I said, "There's a swan down here, and he just ate the lot." So needless to say.
Just dropping back one to about the characters and that. Now, this wasn't actually a two-legged character that was on the Bralga with us. Do you remember a four-legged character that was on the Bralga with us?
Big Moggy.
Moggy. And what happened when we got back to Newcastle after our round trip?
Well, there was a young lady that used to knock around with me at the time, and I was at her place, and I said, "Look, everybody on that ship is getting their end away. Everybody's got regular girlfriends, but the poor old Moggy, he hasn't got one. And what about have you got any female cats around here?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, "I'll get you one." I said, "All right." So she got this Moggy and crammed it in a cardboard box, and during the taxi fare ride back, this Moggy got very irate and ripped its way out of the cardboard beer carton, and I attacked the driver. I got it back in the box. And the driver refused to carry me or the Moggy any further. So we get another taxi and get it back on board the ship. We took it down to the stevedore's locker and threw it in there, and then went and got the ship's Moggy and threw him in there. And those that could were looking through the porthole. The others were looking through the doorway. And somebody said, "Jesus, look at it yowl." I said, "How's it run away after being dealt with by this other ship's captain?" Someone said, "Any wonder it's Bellerin. It's got a pair of balls."
Yeah, poor old Moggy. He only did that trip with us, didn't he? I think he paid off then. Walked down the gangway in disgust. What does the Seaman Union of Australia mean to you, and how did it influence shipboard life and the welfare of seamen and their families?
In every way, I'd say.
Yeah,
A lot of the
without
association.
having a Seaman's Union, we would have been rat shit.
Yeah, in social ways, conditions wise, it was an ongoing struggle that usually there was always a couple that had dragged the chain and try not to get involved, but on most ships you had at least 3/4 of the crew that were pretty militant. In some cases, some engineers and some officers were, some stewards and some cooks were, but by and large I think everybody agreed that the trade unionism was the lifeblood of every worker everywhere, whether you were seaman or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that when I first got away to sea, it was just starting to get TVs on the coast and still getting that carbolic soap and everything like that. So, yeah.
Well, looking back on it, like a lot of bars on ships, we thought it was an advance at the time, and I was pretty influential in getting a few bars on it, especially the Sol and the Solana, and a few others, Moringa. But in the long run, it caused the undoing of some good militant blokes, and it also caused people to be gathered in just 3 or 4 blokes in this cabin, 2 or 3 in the rec room, and it's antisocial, and that goes on whether it's in a family context, and that's all a ship is a large family.
But that wasn't the bar's fault. That was the crew members' fault.
Oh yeah, we didn't follow police it hard enough, and nobody likes pulling their mates into gear unless they have to, and by that time it's often too late.
Yeah, that's a big problem, yeah. Disputes, shipboard or other, that you have participated in?
Too many to name.
Yeah, Vietnam War, bloody
Yeah.
Utah, Ampol.
Yes, well, the Vietnam War problem, I think it lasted, in my case I was involved for about 7 years straight. It was every Friday night in Sydney, going around Martin Place, and I got told by Barney Smith one night to run around the pubs and get everyone up there for 6 p.m. in Martin Place. And he said, but once you've rounded them up, don't you go. And I said, why? And he said, because last week I saw you thump one bloke twice. And I said, he said, we're demonstrating for peace and you're running around thumping
people.
I said, well, the reason for that was that he was...
You had to get a message through to him.
He was selecting young uni girls for handing out leaflets, and he'd wait till he got one on his own and run up and punch her in the stomach and tear her leaflets up, and so I positioned him twice and got him twice in the same night.
Yeah. Yeah, because with that Vietnam War dispute, the sister ship, the one we're on, was one of the ones that they requisitioned for the Navy, wasn't it? The Bernaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was very interesting when the Bernaroo came back to Darwin. You and I were on the Baralga, and the Bernaroo came in with a Navy crew, and they had about 24 on deck, and it took them 24 hours to break the gear out of a B-boat.
Yeah.
A job that 9 of us used to do in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And get it all set up for the wharfies.
Yeah.
So I think, as far as seamanship goes, I think we showed the Navy a little bit. You can't expect them to know go-go gear like we do. You can't expect them to know basic seamanship.
Yeah.
Apparently in the Navy they're not taught that.
Well,
in some cases now, there's a lot of seamen that aren't taught much seamanship.
Well, in the same bad weather that sank the Noongar, the Japarik came into Sydney or Newcastle with a Centurion tank bloody poking through its side where they didn't lash it properly, and that's when she was in the Navy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of that on both ships, just lack of experience, and they had all these so-called experts there, but there's nothing like practical experience.
No.
It's interesting to know too why the Navy took those two ships over, because of the lies that were told about the carrying ammunition and shit up the Vietnam
Yes.
in disguised packages with the Red Cross on the side of it,
That's right.
and they promised that there was no ammunition going there,
Yeah.
and yet it was already boxed and containerised.
Yeah.
Because then we got all sorts of bad press.
That's the point I'm trying to make. They made us out the fucking mongrels.
Yeah, that's right. You'd have had to have been in a few disputes in your time at sea, Alby.
Oh yeah. But I couldn't think of them all.
Well, you were deeply involved in a lot of the tug disputes.
Yeah.
That would have been the Utah dispute and all that there. I don't know how bad they went down here in Melbourne, because with Utah, and that I was mainly out of Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yous would have. There was one that that Frankie Dean had told me about that you would have been involved in too. Would have been the Greek Seaman's dispute, and that when they had it down here.
Yeah.
Greek or
Coming in there, we're all involved in that.
yeah.
But the one that gets the raps for it, which is he deserved it, was little Bert fucking Fagan.
Fagan, yeah.
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 When he managed to get inside of the truck and throw all the meat over the side.
There's,
The stop work meetings, what role they played, how well they used to be attended, the importance of them.
They were attended pretty good, yeah.
Because I remember going, what was it, the Railway Institute or
Near Burke Street.
Yeah.
Near Burke West.
yeah, and you couldn't get a bloody seat. And if you didn't get there well and truly before time, you couldn't get a seat. You couldn't get in the hall half the time.
Started at 9 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah,
So they should have been.
and if you weren't there, you had to have a bloody good reason why you weren't.
yes, well, there's a lot of, as the years wore on and the established conditions were better and better, so the members' interests seemed to drop off, and you always had the same old few that would say, "I'll have an extra beer." The stuff the stop work meeting, we'll find out what happened later, and it'd be only a handful of
Fair dinghams.
people that used to think that way, but as times go on, we didn't do our job properly, I don't think, because we didn't educate our younger members as much as our fathers and uncles and grandfathers educated us, and that's as far as unionism generally, not just within the Seamen's Union. One time, most women believed strongly in unions and clothing factories and what have you, but these days it seems to be all piece workers and cottage and what's the word for it?
Cottage industries, or whatever they call it.
Well,
Yeah.
Offshore.
So-called, but
Yeah.
by and large it's basically scab outfits
Yeah,
that have taken work of genuine factories that have at least given a little bit of thought to the idea that it's women's salvation in the long run is unionism.
yeah.
I might come in there, Wayne, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Bob's right in what he says. We can't take, you can't blame older members for the younger members not being involved in unionism. We lost the opportunity in the late 70s when the ship owner and his representatives sat on the board and said, I'll take him, I'll take him, I'll take him. I won't have him because his father's a seaman or a wharfie. And all the professional trades at that time, they all got picked over the kids that we never got a chance to get to and talk to them. The people that they took in were already educated, already had their trades, and they used us as a stepstone
Yeah.
Yeah.
until their particular industry come up again, like in your lawn, because hundreds of them got the arse down there,
Yeah.
so they all got away to sea. As soon as everything started settling down, they all went back.
Yeah.
And the union refused to acknowledge this. In something like the first 18 months of 2 years, 800 people went through our books.
Mm.
And just give it the arse.
Yeah. Which remains to be seen what's going to happen with, I think it's the GM workers or something in South Australia. They're talking about getting away to sea because the car industry's falling to pieces.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's going to happen too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every chance.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, as well, not only the sons of trade people that already had a trade ashore, a lot of them were people that had a trade but wanted to save enough money to start their own business,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's
Well, that brings us into the next question: how seamen were selected for jobs and the pickup, etc.
yeah, well, when we
They
first
select these here.
when we first started, they used to call in the pickup, and you'd go out and stand in a line,
Yeah.
and there'd be a mate or somebody down there so far away, and he'd point to whichever one he wanted.
The one with the buttonhole and his...
Oh, the one that put the cigarette or the $2 in his cigarette packet.
Yeah, and offered him a smoke, yeah. Or the one with the newspaper under his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me one time when Lil Troy was VO, and they called for a deck boy for something, and I just went to walk out, and I had the paper in my hand, and Lil stopped me, you know, but I didn't even give it a thought.
Yeah.
But that was my first little bit of a warning about things you don't do.
Yeah. Yeah. The lead system, Schedule C, when that came in.
How long ago was that?
72.
72.
Oh, yeah, well, I was on the tugs then,
Yeah.
right through till I retired.
Yeah.
There was quite a few ships, including the pilot boat, which I'll mention in a minute. The pilots wouldn't even talk about an aggregate wage or week on, they already had week on, week off, but they didn't want to have an aggregate wage. And they used to work this old Navy type dog watch system, and there was a group of us, some of them have been mentioned earlier, a group of rebels joined the pilot boat when the existing...
Bob O'Shea was one.
Well, McCann and his crew got the flick out of one crew. The other crew wouldn't and get off their ass and help us one little bit. And when McCann's, they sacked the entire crew, they got a worse, well, if you like, more militant crowd in Johnny here, myself, Keith Callender, Jimmy McCann, and he got back in and a few others. And the pilot service said, shit, it's getting worse every time we sack him. And Bert Nolan said to us, you can't stick the pilot boat up. My answer to that was, no different to any other ship.
That's right.
You watch us.
Yeah.
And because we did stick the pilot boat up, and it was only half a day. And they come to the party, but the other crew didn't stop them putting their hand out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they weren't Union of Star Souls.
Yeah.
Just
Barry
to add another,
Langren was one of them.
just to add another little bit to that, I was in the pilot boat about 3 weeks before these guys all picked it up and leaving. And the first night I'm down there, I said, where are the papers? They said, oh, we'll get them in the morning. I said, where's the library? And they looked at me and said, library? What do you want a library for? We get the papers every day. I said, well, how long have you been getting away with this? I said, you get the money? No, we don't get the money. And bugging me that I finished my week there. These bastards joined, they've got a library within a couple of weeks. These bungles have been here for 13 and 15 years.
Yeah, they weren't interested.
Yeah.
All they were interested in was that week on, week off.
Supposedly good militants.
Yeah. Well, there was plenty of them down at Barry's Beach too. I think that should get a bit of a mention. There was one occasion, and I was often at loggerheads with Bert Nolan for various reasons. But on this occasion, Bert wanted us to accept 21 days on and 7 days off. I said, no, 1 and 1, the same as it. And we managed to talk a lot of the farmers around, but we couldn't get them all. And I thought the numbers were about halfway. And the numbers, I was pretty accurate there. And the numbers were about halfway. So Bert Nolan found himself seconding my motion, much to his disgust. And another time, an engineer who was a self-proclaimed National Party member did the same thing, seconded my motion. That was in one, was about gaining extra leave.
Yeah.
We said, well, forego the pay rise, but we want more leave. 1, to create more jobs, and 2, well, it was dangerous work and you needed the extra leave down there. The other one, I've lost it.
Barry's Beach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was over the dismissal of the Whitlam government.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we got one descendant on it, Bill. One bloke walked away without voting.
Yeah.
And the rest were unanimous,
Yeah.
including engineers and mates. So from then on in, a lot of our meetings we had combined
Yeah.
with all unions, which made it a bit stronger.
Yeah, yeah, it certainly would have.
And made the people like Ken Boss, SO's representative down there, made them a bit more respectful when we had 3 unions involved, not just one.
Yeah, yeah. The union school, was that going, it started when you were still there?
Yeah.
Did you ever attend it?
No.
No. I was on the tags.
What was
No.
it? It was about 92, 93, wasn't it, that started? It might have been a bit before that.
Yeah, a bit before then, yeah.
Oh, well before.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember the first time I went up there. I was only about the 3rd school at it. I can't remember when.
I think it might have been about 78, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, my memory's like yours, mate. I can't remember. The SRF, the effect it had on you.
Mm.
Well, as far as SRF goes, I was just straight on the tugs and same sort of thing, SU8 mainly all the time.
I got out partly for family reasons and bought a little pub up the bush. And because I resigned for the Melbourne Tugs, I got only my own contributions and 5% interest, which gave me a grand total of about $35,000. Well, lousy 5 years later, all my mates are getting 300 up there.
Yeah.
That showed bad timing on my part. But I didn't have a crystal ball at the time.
Bit like my old man, when he got out, he done about 70,000 or something like that. He listened to someone, didn't didn't have the crystal ball.
Yeah.
Still, yeah. How did going to sea affect your family lives?
All right. No great bother.
You got away from your little brother.
There's an old saying, Wayne. Fatties don't have teeth. They're 3 feet off the ground. They can't eat grass, so they've got to be fed. And if you're not home to feed them, some other bastard will. Whether it be your neighbour or...
That's lovely for family TV.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What was your last ship? Yours, Alby, was the tugs.
Yeah.
What about yours, Bob?
Melbourne Tugs.
Melbourne tugs too. And what year did you retire?
93.
85.
Oh yeah. And what are you doing now? You still active through the veterans groups or anything like that? No?
Little as possible for as much as I can get.
Well, it's pretty boring having a one-out meeting, and as far as I'm aware,
Yeah.
I'm the only seaman that lives in Ingham, North
Yeah,
Queensland.
yeah.
It's not far from Townsville or Cairns.
Underwood lives up there.
No, I'll tell
Every
you what,
time I've tried to ring him,
Yeah.
he never returns phone calls, and
Yeah.
I gave him Johnny's phone number a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've tried to ring him several times.
Well, he's got a charter boat now, I think, hasn't he?
Didn't he? I only heard this through the grapevine that he had a win on lottos or something.
Yeah, and he bought a boat. And last I heard of him, he was because it was too short to do. He wanted to do charter work out to the reef.
Yeah.
He had to put extra. It was only a foot or two in it,
Yeah.
and he was doing charter work for
Yeah.
fishing boats and that, for fishing
Yeah.
and that out in the Barrier Reef. But that's going. I haven't talked to Underwood now for Jesus Christ, 10, 11 years or something. Oh no, not that long. No, it'd have to be 10 years, at least. Yeah, and I haven't seen him for a while.
It'd be much the same in my case.
Yeah,
There's a few seamen down in Mackay. I've been to a couple of demos down there.
yeah. Laurie.
Yeah, and Ian Nichols and his 2
Yeah.
brothers. There's quite a few down there in Mackay. I went to a demo a few years ago with Ian and a couple of his brothers and
Yeah,
people off the Mackay tugs, and Tony Abbott was there, and what's that bandy-legged big-ass Sheila? She got the flick at the last election.
Pauline.
No.
No.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was attending a function for that she was running, and there was people from Plumbers Union, Builders Labourers, several others, and Seaman and whatever you, just a small demo, about 20, and I waylaid Tony Abbott and made out I was a Christian, which I've never been in my life. I was anti all church,
Yeah.
agnostic or atheist if you like, cross between the two. But I got hold of Tony Abbott and I said, you don't read the same Bible I do. I said, you'll be struck dead, the good Lord will get you, and all this sort of stuff. He said, well, how do you mean? I said, well, how can you be a good Christian when you're sitting in that group that you belong to with Johnny Howard of semi-fascists taking the bread and butter of pensioners and battlers and people that can't fight back.
Yeah.
And he tensed up, and I thought he was going to throw one. I was hoping he would, but
Yeah.
he didn't.
When you pulled the pin, Bob, you had a few interesting things, didn't you? You went into the pub You went fire watching or something, didn't you? Up in the bloody
Yeah,
fire control tower or
did
something?
10 years up the fire tower.
Yeah.
I got a bit of smoke inhalation problem. On the last few days I was up there, they had me up there there was big fires up in the foothills of the Snowy Mountains down there, seldom seen, and a couple of other landmarks, and especially around Mount Hotham. But a lot of the smoke was getting carried down but they kept on me, but they kept me up the tower to give them regular weather reports. And that was the only time I ever found that job boring, because with all the smoke around you couldn't even see the ground.
Yeah.
Only 100 feet below you. And the last day I felt faint a few times up there, and ended up when I said to the boss, I've got to knock off, I've got to go down over the radio. He said, yeah. He said, you feel off? I said, yeah. He said, well, call me on the mobile as soon as you get down below on the mobile radio. And halfway down, I blacked out on the ladder. So I just hooked me on in the ladder and curled me and sat on the platform until I got my wind back and my vision back mainly. Went down below, went to Alby. He told me to get straight to Alby Hospital. He said, do you want us to send a driver up? I said, I'll call you if I need one. The time I got down there I was reasonably okay. And just had to go and have a, what do you call it with that?
ECG?
ECG, yeah. And they said I hadn't had a heart attack, just smoking,
No.
Never looked like having one ever since, but I thought, well, that's a warning from Mother Nature. I'm getting too bloody old for the job. And as it was at 65, I was the oldest bloke up one of the high towers. That was all very interesting. I think it was only part of my seagoing training that I could use ashore.
Been a lot.
Yeah, you could give them accurate fix on where the smoke was coming from, and your general knowledge of weather came in very handy up there.
Yeah. So what do you think of the industry today?
Well, you hardly see anyone, like I see Bob, see Brother Bill, and that's about all.
Yeah.
Because the tugs are shifted up the river and all that sort of thing, and I don't bother going over the other side of town. You go over there, you can't have a drink, or if you do, you got to watch how you get yourself back. It's just
true.
not on.
Yeah.
What I see of, I had a son do the IR's course, and I've heard a lot of criticisms, not only from him but from other people that have done that course, both from ex-engine room crew and ABs, and the way I see it is they're not given the on-the-job, they're shown how to do a splice or one or two wire splices, but they're not really trained much in the way of handling derricks. Not that there's a lot of them around anymore. There's not, but there's a lot of things that they could be taught better to do. I believe that the old system of deck boys and ordinary seamen was superior in as much as the people concerned got a better training, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Not on all ships. There were some ships where they just had the deck boy and the bucko scraping winch beds and doing repetitious work. And,
that was part of your fucking learning.
Well, yeah, and part of your punishment too.
I don't know about punishment. I mean, let's face it, how many winch beds would you be scraping at sea now?
True. Fish all haven't heard of.
Yeah.
But as for wire splicing, it's banned now on the coast. You can only use stuff that's been telluridied or swaged. It's ridiculous. But it must be disappointing, to see that especially coming from the 50s and that there, and seeing what everything is fought for. As I said, I know I only went to sea in the middle part of 1960, and I know that a lot of things that I see are disappearing is a bloody disappointment.
Yeah.
It's
True.
and you got people coming through nowadays who absolutely couldn't care less about what's been fought for by the older blokes and that, and they think that it's their God-given right to have whatever that comes on board the ship, and don't realise that the ship owner is not that generous.
No,
and if he could get back,
never has been.
he never has been. He could get back to where he was years ago, he would, and you'd have bugger all on the ship.
Well, he's virtually doing it in the West, isn't he?
Yeah.
All them shit boxes they're bringing out from bringing them from Singapore. And there's one thing over there now, I'm not sure if it's a pipe layer, but they're getting $890 a week fiddling.
Yeah.
Hard land allowances.
There's
nearly
one.
$1,000 a week.
There's one of them they brought out a while ago, and when they topped the tanks up, the bloody lower decks were about a foot of water sloshing around them. It was that rotten as they topped the bloody freshwater tank. Just and it's ridiculous.
And all we get from the union is, well, if we don't man
them, someone else will. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. That other thing they had south of us, I think it's still there. That ship anchored south of Lincoln.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
That's good. But the people that were flying from overseas and fucking training them there, they never come ashore or fuck off.
Yeah. Apparently, in the last journal, there's something about it going over offshore somewhere.
Yeah.
Something Destiny, wasn't it? What was it called? Destiny Queen.
Yeah.
No, it's so they bloody should do too.
When we're talking about substandard shipping, when I was on the Melbourne tugs, a great passenger ship called the Patrice was over at Breakwater, Breakwater Pier, and we had one line up, and the other line up on the wharf, and Johnny Logan was our skipper at the time, and he says, "You won't remember," and I asked him if I had time to get to the phone. There weren't many mobiles around then, and none of us had one. So I ran along the wharf and got on the phone. This thing was leaking oil, fuel oil, and it was a perfectly calm day, and you could see it coming up, pretty regular. So I rang up Parliament House, and just by fluke got Barry Jones. He was the Victorian Environment Minister at the time, and he said, "Do you mind if I bring that up in Parliament tomorrow?" He said, "I won't use your name." I said, "You go for your life.
Yeah.
Use my name, I don't mind." And he said, "Oh, I wouldn't like to get you in trouble with the ship owners." I said, "They're cunning enough.
Yeah.
They're not going to sack me for that.
No, that's right.
They might wait and get something else on me, but they're not going to sack me for that." Anyway, Barry Jones brought it up next day. Hamer said to him, Hamer had been spooking the fact that he doubled the fines or trebled them or whatever for polluting. And when Hamer said, "Oh look, we've doubled the fines and everything," and Barry Jones said, "Well, you're not doing nothing about it. It's all right having it on paper, but you don't apply the fines." And then he brought up this business that giving his opening, and he said, "Look, the dogs are barking it around Williamstown about the ship leaking oil last night, and it was reported to the Harbour Trust and reported to the Environment Mob. Nothing at all was done. Can you tell me why?" And and then Barry Jones rang New South Wales, and because the reception committee was waiting for it when it went into Sydney, and they got fined something like $300,000, and our engineer, relieving at the time, was the extreme right wing in his attitude. He said, "You bastard," he said, "you wouldn't have done that if it had been a Labor government in power. I said, I wouldn't have had to, you would have.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We had a ship in here close to 2 years ago. It was supposed to be the second in the Boomerang line, which was supposed to be a ship was going to take the old ASP bulk container ships run back up Fremantle, Melbourne,
Right.
Sydney, Brisbane,
Yeah.
and we were pushing up alongside it. And the skipper's, we've looked down and there's a bloody split fore and aft in the hull about a foot long, and then there was another split running down the hull about another foot, 18 inches long. And luck had it, I knew the pilot that was on the ship, and I had his mobile number, so I rang him up and I said, Dave, don't get us to push too hard. And he said, why? And I said, there's a bloody couple of holes in the ship down here. So he come hurtling out the wing of the bridge, looked down, and there's ballast water pissing out everywhere like that. But the same ship was called the Commandante. It ended up getting arrested in the west because it snuck out of here and ended up getting arrested by AMSA in the west. And it had 76 defects in the engine room alone, and that's what they wanted to bring on the bloody coast.
Yeah.
But there's another brand new ship to the coast. It's 18-year-old. I think it's called the Spirit of Esperance.
Yep.
A bloke got killed on it the other day too.
Yes, I heard
Yeah. Got killed in Townsville.
Kevin was saying something
Yeah.
about it.
But a brand new ship to the coast, as you're talking about old heaps of shit, 18-year-old.
How did he get killed?
I'm not quite sure whether he got hit by a bloody cargo hook or what. Yeah, I've only just heard that I didn't hear how he got down. Well, that's just about it, unless you've got anything else you'd like to add to the thing.
Well, just the general thing doesn't really concern seagoing members, but it does concern the Eureka movement and the union movement in general. Pauline Hanson's filthy mob in Queensland, everywhere you see a Eureka flag being flown, is usually One Nation.
Oh yeah.
They've commandeered it.
Yeah.
There's a pie band. I used to like their pies until they started flying that flag. But there's a pie band in Cardwell, and they've got the Aussie flag up and the Eureka flag up with it. And I had a protracted argument with her one day. And some redneck bastard said, he said, we're waiting for pie, mate. We don't need this bloody combo talk here. I said, well, that flag is a socialist flag.
That's right.
It is not fucking right-wing liberal flag.
Yeah.
Which is what they were, they contend that they're revolutionary, so they're allowed to use that flag. So I've got a bit of ammunition to take back home with me and cause a few more arguments.
Discussions, yes.
Yeah, discussions.
Yeah.
And makes the world go round.
That's right, mate, that's right. So, nothing else, Dad?
No, sun's over the hard arm.
No, it's probably over. Okay.
So that's the finish of Keating.
Yeah. Well, I thank you very much for sitting down doing this.
That's all right.
Thanks, mate.
And just remember that the part about the automatic watch wire can be bloody omitted from this, because I can get this bloody what you call it. I can get it edited.
Good one.
Oh, hang on. Yes, just a little addendum to that part there. What were you caught doing in the cabin next to mine with the drill?
That was to see what Yogi was doing in the cabin.
Yeah.
I had to rephrase it, but I was going to say.
Yeah. You was just looking after the welfare of your ordinary seaman, were you?
No, he did, but he was.
No, me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're drilling from that cabin into mine.
Ooh, hey. Oh, Jesus.
Bad luck at it. I snuck back in the day. I don't know what I come in for, and there's that show with the drill going, what are you doing? Oh, nothing.
Wayne, rest assured, your face would have saved your ass.
Yeah, we just mentioning about the when the Noongar sank, Bob.
Yeah, well, it's common knowledge. I wasn't on the Noongar at the time. I'd got out about 2 months beforehand. And I wasn't on the Moringa, but the crew on there was a very nasty skipper called Captain Anderson, was on the Moringa at the time, and he refused to put on extra lookouts, so the crew doesn't have their own volition. They even went to the extent of ordering one of the extra lookouts provided by the crew off the wing of the bridge. Said they were getting in his road when he was taking a sight and hampering navigation. But it's just that he was a nasty bastard.
Yeah.
So he, one of the extra lookouts that the crew on the Moringa put there, noticed something that needed investigating. And it turned out to be one of the lifeboats from the Noongar with several members in it. I think some of the catering staff and some of the deck staff, and I think a couple of engineers. By memory, but I forget, that can be checked up on. But Anderson, when they said, look, there's, looks like a lifeboat over there. And he says, no, he said, you're mistaken. He looked through it and he wouldn't lend his binoculars to anybody, but a few of the crew had their own, and they had to threaten him more or less with mutiny, that if he didn't turn the ship out of that way and go and investigate. He later on got 6 months disqualification, if I remember right, from the inquiry, that everybody concerned that was there, I wasn't, but those that were there all maintained that the dirty bastard should have been rubbed out for life.
Yeah.
But he was anti-union, anti-progress of any sort, anti-left-wing politics, or even centre politics. He was just an anti-nasty old bastard.
His brother was the opposite.
Right.
Alby, I can you tell that story. About his brother, right?
Just to add another little bit to the Moringa, that after they got the poor bastards into the back on board, they've got into Melbourne, Anderson wanted to hit them with bills for the blankets and the food that they'd ate on the way down.
Yeah, I can flee, yeah.
One night, Alby and me and Pissy Chris were in the Pier Hotel. Where you go with that one,
No,
Alby?
go on. You're doing all right.
We heard by Anderson telling some blokes in the Melbourne Harbour Trust that what a good bloke he was, and that he never sacked a man in his life.
Yeah.
Alby piped up.
Yeah, he said, you fucking sacked me off the Aranda.
I put my hand up and I said, and you sacked me off the Aroa when I was back home. And Pissy Chris said, yeah, and you fucking sacked me too, you bastard, and give me a baddie.
That's when he was in the eat note.
Pissy Chrissy.
But with Pissy Chris. Yeah, May Anderson's gotten to these people that he never sacked them. There's three of us in one little group.
That he sacked.
Going back to that Anderson again, we were in the Eden Hove up north. Pissy Chrissy was there, as Bob said, and I was on the wheel and he's come in and he said, well, I've been sacked. I said, oh, yeah, have you? And the chief steward happened to walk in and he said, what will you have for tea, chief? He said, oh, I can't have tea. He said, I've been sacked. And the chief steward looked at him and said, you've been sacked? He said, yeah. He said, the mongrel fucking sacked me. He said, I'm not entitled to anything. And the chief steward thought, well, what's going on here? And as it turned out, this poor bastard was in the rats. He's that full of drink all the time that the old man never sacked him. He gave him a warning, but he's been sacked. We're going from Rockhampton to Melbourne, and he's not going to be fed.